You are being influenced. What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I'm going to try to keep my eyes open today because I squint a lot in my videos. I actually wear glasses all the time. But when you wear glasses, you have to point your head downward so that there's not a glare. I'm going to try to keep my eyes open and squint less. So today, I'm already squinting. Look at that.
What the hell's wrong with you, man? Open your damn eyeballs.
I've got a giveaway going on. Make sure you enter that giveaway. I will pin that to the end screen. You don't want to miss it because it is awesome. So today, I want to talk about influencers. Social media influencers. In particular, in the knife community. So first of all, who is an influencer? Do you have to have 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000? At what point does somebody become an influencer? Are you an influencer if you're an ambassador for a certain knife brand? Are you an influencer if companies sometimes send you free knives or all the time send you free knives? I believe that everybody that has made any video that has been posted on YouTube and that video has been viewed at least once, actually, that you are an influencer. Every single video that's posted to YouTube that somebody watches has some sort of influence. Hear me out on this one. Everything influences you. Every road sign, every conversation, everything somebody says, every video you watch, every television show you watch, everything you read, everything has some sort of influence on you. But we're talking specifically YouTube here. So whether somebody posts a video reviewing a product, maybe it's a knife, or maybe some other product, or maybe some video sharing a political opinion, or even some video of somebody gaming or off on some adventure, that video, when you watch it, has an influence on you. Either you decide you like that product or you don't like that product. You decide you agree with what the person says or you completely disagree with what that person says. You decide that person is good at playing this particular game or they're not good. Or you might even decide that person's attractive or unattractive. Or maybe you might decide that person's entertaining and I just want to hear what they have to say. Or maybe you decide this person bores me to tears. I don't care what they have to say, so I'm never going to watch this person's videos again. Regardless of what decision you come to based on what you hear, what you see, what you watch, what you read, you are being influenced. Now, that's not the standard definition of influencer. When we think of a social media influencer, we think of someone that has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But I say to you, you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers to be an influencer. Now, let me talk about me and my channel, this channel, Tim's School of Fish, this knife channel. Do I want to be an influencer? No, I do not. What I want to be on this channel is an advisor and an entertainer. I want to advise people on what I think about certain knives. I want to be entertaining when I do it, or at the very least, I don't want to be boring. And let's be honest, there's a ton of channels out there that are just boring as shit. I want people to want to hear what I have to say. I want them to be entertained. I want them to laugh sometimes. I want them to agree sometimes. I want them to disagree sometimes. But the reason that I show knives is not to influence someone to make a purchase or feel like they need that particular knife. I show knives because I love knives. I love collecting knives. I love using knives. And I just like to talk about them. And so I share them with you. So my goal is to advise and entertain while I'm doing that. And if that makes you formulate an opinion one way or another, then so be it. You are being influenced. But there's another thing I want to address. There's this misconception out there among people that simply view knife tube videos and they're not necessarily a content creator. A lot of people think that anybody that's an ambassador for a particular company is a shill for that company. And I'm here to tell you that is not true, and that is not how it works. 99% of the time, when somebody becomes an ambassador for a certain brand, it's because they were already a supporter of that brand. That's how it happens with most people. That's how you become a brand ambassador, is by supporting that brand already. And then someone takes notice and then they reach out to you. Now, that's not always the case with people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. When you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you obviously have a much greater reach on social media. Your videos are reaching more people. So those people that have that amount of subscribers, there are companies reaching out to them constantly saying, hey, I want to send you some knives. Would you be interested in doing that? And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. A lot of times, people say, no, please don't send me any knives. And there's a number of reasons for that. First of all, I don't know a single knife tuber that is willing to be told what to say about a particular knife. Hey, listen, I'll review your knives, but I'm going to call it as I see it. If there's something I like, I'll point it out. If there's something I don't particularly like, I'm going to point that out as well. Most people that agree to accept a free product in return for a review, their first stipulation is, you're not going to tell me what to say about it. I'm going to say about this knife or this product exactly what I think of it. And most companies are okay with that because most companies, not all, most companies want to improve to be able to provide better products and better service to their customers. So when people say, rah, rah, you can't trust anything he says because he's getting free knives. First of all, when the hell did we become communist? When is it wrong to receive some form of payment for services rendered? It's absolutely not wrong, whether the payment for those services rendered are in the form of cash or a free product. There is nothing wrong with that. If you're a business owner, you are charging for your service or your product. Quit being freaking communist and thinking there's something wrong with that. That's the way it goes most of the time. Because look, there's no commercials for knives. There's absolutely no commercials for knives. So the trade-off of a free knife for basically advertising is the only way for these companies to advertise. I think the trade-off for some free knives, for some advertising for that company, is a perfectly legitimate and fair trade, and nobody should have any problem with it. And you should rest assured that that person reviewing that knife is going to tell you exactly what they think about that knife. Now, the counter argument to that is, well, if somebody's getting sent free knives, they are only going to say good things about that knife. That is not true. That is 100% not true. Then there's another thing that I hear all the time, and it's that every single knife you show on your channel you say is great. You say it's wonderful. Think about this. People that have knife channels that show knives, we show the knives that are in our collection. We show the knives that we purchase. Or we show the knives that are sent to us because we're an ambassador for that brand, because we already like that brand. But nobody's going to show knives intentionally that they don't freaking like. We share with you what we like. We share with you what we have in our collection. So of course, 90% of the knives that I show you on my channel, I like them because I bought them. And I bought them because I like them. Now, there might be some nitpicky little thing like I say, well, I wish the jimping was different, or this particular thumb stud is a little bit sharp, or something like that. You know, you're only going to see me say that I don't like a knife if it's a pass-around knife, right? A knife that goes from person to person. But yeah, all of those knives I'm not necessarily going to like, but I want to review them because I want to advise and I want to entertain. And that's the goal of what I'm trying to do on this channel. I want to share what I love about knives, and I want to be entertaining while I do it. And rest assured that people are being influenced. Everybody that posts any video on YouTube and somebody watches that video, you are being influenced. But I want to tell you this. Whether your budget for a knife is $15 or $15,000. Do not let what somebody says on the internet, on some video, determine how you feel about that knife. If you have a $10 knife and it serves you well and you absolutely love it, and yet somebody does a video of that particular knife and bashes on it, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that knife at all. Because that's just that person's opinion, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. So yes, you are going to be influenced. Many of the decisions that you make are going to come from input all over the place. But what you need to do is take that input, weigh it with your personal beliefs, and then make an educated decision. Don't think because I say I love ROSECRAFT blades all the time that you have to love ROSECRAFT blades. Don't think because one influencer says he hates a certain brand of knife or he thinks that particular knife is garbage, that it's garbage. It's not. If you love it, you love it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And the last thing is, regardless of what you do with your knives, whether you have 300 knives that have never been used, or whether you have 2 knives that you use constantly, or whether you like to take your knives, put them on a shelf and just look at how beautiful they are as collector pieces, or whether your knives are hard use knives or just light duty knives, it does not matter. Don't believe what somebody says. When somebody says, use your shit, screw that. If you don't want to use your knife, don't use it. If it's nothing more than a fidget toy, then good for you. You have every right to have as many freaking fidget toys as you want. Me, personally, I have some knives in my collection that have never been used and they will never get used because I just think they're beautiful and I want them in my collection. And every once in a while I like to take them out, hold them, oil them, clean them, and that's it. And then I have some knives that get light daily use, and then I have some knives that are hard users and I beat the living shit out of them. So what you want to do with your knives is your decision, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. And what you think is a good knife is your decision, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. And what you think is a bad knife is your decision, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because you are going to be influenced. But don't be influenced to the point where you lose your own faculties and you cannot make a decision for yourself and stand by that decision. That's all I got for you today. Just wanted to share that with you today and get that off my chest and tell you guys where I'm coming from. As always, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or if I've influenced you in any way. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.